Hey ladies, so today I want to show you how to make the mommy sized twisted headband. This fabric is bullet fabric and it is from Fox and Tots custom fabric. I will leave the link in the description. I am using a sewing machine. It's the Singer Heavy Duty 4423, and this fabric I already have it pre-cut so that way I don't take too much of your time. It is 20 inches long by 8 inches wide. So this is a really quick and easy headband to do. So the first thing you need to do is you need to fold it in half where the pretty sides face one another. So for this one, we are going to sew along this edge right here in a zigzag stitch. If you need pins or if you need clips to help you keep everything aligned, you can. However, I don't. So what I'm going to do is put it under my machine and begin to sew. So I'm just making sure everything's aligned because I don't use pins. So I'm gonna pause and just align everything. So now if you have extra right here, you can trim that, and I'm just going to do it with my scissors. If you have the pinking shears, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to trim mine halfway. I'm not going to get too close to the thread. I did a zigzag stitch so that way it will still have the stretch. If you do the straight stitch, you are going to lose some stretch. And the zigzag stitch just gives it the ability to continue to stretch. You could back stitch if you wanted to. The most part, I just grab the two ends and I tie a knot in it. Just to hold it in place, and then I trim it. And you don't really have to do this because we're going to sew the ends here in just a few. But this is just something that I like to do. So now that that is done with, we're going to turn it. And if you can tell, one side has the seam where we sewed and one side doesn't. So you're going to want to face the side that has the seam towards you. So you're going to want to make sure that your center is centered in your fabric. So there's my seam, it's the center. So I'm going to want to make sure that it's like that for both sides. So then what you want to do now is you want to bring this over to where this edge meets that seam. And this is where you can use your clips or your pins. And then this edge back here, you want it to match up with that seam right there. So the next, this strand right here is going to fall back around that. And I'm making sure that everything is lined up. And I'm just going to clip it. So then this remaining strand over here, I'm going to bring it forward and around. And I'm just going to clip it. So everything's clipped. And then if you want to make sure that you did it correctly, you can open it up and make sure that it looks like what it needs to look like. Well, I'm just going to align mine really quick. Because you want it to have like this little twist right there. So now that everything is aligned, I'm going to put my clips back on there and I'm going to give it a straight stitch right along there. Before I get to the end, I'm going to do a back stitch 2 times and then another forward stitch. And then I want to keep my needle down, and then I'm going to lift my foot, twist my fabric around so that way I can do another stitching along that same stitch line that I just created. And then you want to do a back stitch. And then a front stitch, and then you can remove your headband. So now you just cut the extra. And now you have yourself a mommy headband. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Like I said, I will leave the link to in the description of the Fox and Tots custom fabric website. That way you can search this. This was a ready to ship fabric. As you can tell, the fabric is real vibrant in color. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thank you.